Fostering human creativity and critical thinking in the age of artificial intelligence. To chair this session, we have Dr. Sheelan Misra, founder and CEO of Unithink Education International, with over 22 years of experience, 50 plus research publications, and extensive global consulting work. Madam has been a trailblazer in higher education, design, and innovation. I request Dr. Asha Kiran Madam, Head Academics, Dr. Patil B-School, to felicitate Dr. Sheelan Misra. Madam, on the stage, please.
A huge round of applause. Dr. Sheelan shall be moderating the panel discussion. Thank you, madam. This panel discussion, we have a set of highly distinguished panelists who are going to bring down the perspectives from academia, the business, the medicine, and the technology. Let me introduce them one by one. Our distinguished panelist is Professor S. Ganesan, who brings with him over 4 decades of academic and research experience in commerce and management. He has successfully guided 37 PhD scholars and authored 6 books, along with more than 50 research papers. A pioneer in apprenticeship-based degree programs in India, he has worked with over 80 universities to embed apprenticeship into higher education curricula. His innovative pedagogy blends classroom learning with hands-on practice, especially in finance and marketing. Professor Ganesan's work has redefined experiential learning in Indian higher education. I request Dr. Asha Kiran, the Head of Academics at Patil B-School, to come on stage and felicitate Professor Ganesan. A huge round of applause for Professor Ganesan. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. I request you to please take your seat as a panelist.
Our next panelist is Dr. Seema Mishra. Madam is an academic leader, entrepreneur, and social change advocate with over 28 years of diverse experience. Madam has served as registrar and academic head of reputed universities and guided the careers of more than 25,000 students. As co-founder of U-Strong Private Limited and the Develop India Foundation, she has led impactful initiatives in education, empowerment, and sustainability. Madam actively mentors women entrepreneurs through platforms like Niti Aayog's Women Entrepreneur Program and has been honored with awards such as the Women of Asia Award and Twitter India's COVID Sheroes Award. Dr. Mishra is a visionary leader who bridges education, entrepreneurship, and social change. I request Dr. Asha Kiran Madam to felicitate Dr. Seema Mishra. Huge round of applause, please.
Thank you, ma'am. Our next distinguished panelist is Dr. S. Ramanathan Iyer, sir, an eminent physician, an academician, and pioneer in the field of sleep medicine. A fellow of Royal College of Physicians, London, he has published 78 research papers and contributed chapters to leading medical textbooks. Dr. Iyer has delivered orations at the prestigious medical forums across India and abroad, focusing on geriatrics, diabetes, and sleep disorders. His book, The Healing Heptagon and Srimad Bhagavad Gita and the Medical Profession, reflects his unique ability to combine science and philosophy. He has served as the President of Geriatric Society of India and the Vice President of the Association of Physicians of India. Dr. Iyer truly embodies the integration of science, health, and human being. I request Dr. Asha Kiran, the Head of Academics at the Patil B-School, to felicitate our distinguished panelist, Dr. S. Ramanathan Iyer. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. It's an honor to have you amongst us. Our next panelist is Professor Mili Rahman, a distinguished academician from Bangladesh, currently serving as Associate Professor and Joint Director of Research and Publications at the Dhaka International University. She has authored over 30 scholarly articles and taught a wide range of subjects, from American drama to Shakespearean studies. Beyond teaching, she has established and held leadership positions in organizations like the Rotary Club of Dhaka Rising Stars and the Bangladesh Center for Research and Planning. She has also served on the editorial boards of several prestigious academic journals, and she is committed to enhancing education quality and advancing literature and language studies in South Asia. I request Dr. Asha Kiran to do the honors and welcome Professor Mili for the panel discussion.
Our next panelist, Dr. Noor Firdaus Jahan, Madam. Madam is a professor and head of the Department of Marketing and Research Center at RV Institute of Management, Bangalore. With 25 years of academic experience, she has authored books, published over 50 papers, and guided several PhD scholars. Madam is an AICTE appointed Margdarshak, mentoring institutions towards MBA accreditation, and an innovation ambassador under the MHRD's Innovation Cell. Dr. Jahan has conducted numerous workshops on outcome-based education and has been recognized with the APJ Abdul Kalam Educational Leadership Excellence Award. Her work reflects a strong commitment to academic quality and institutional growth. I request Professor Bholanath Datta, Sir, Founder and President MTC Global, to felicitate Dr. Noor Firdaus Jahan.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, sir. Our next panelist is Professor C. Vethirajan, a senior professor and head of corporate secretariat at Alagappa University, Tamil Nadu. With over 30 years of teaching and research experience, he has supervised 18 PhD, 40 MPhil scholars, and published more than 150 research papers for his record. His expertise spans corporate governance, CSR, ESG, and financial reporting. He has successfully secured major fundings from acclaimed agencies. Along with that, he has a UGC Research Award and has held senior administrative roles such as the Dean of Student Affairs and Finance Officer. Professor Veti Rajan's career reflects excellence in scholarship, mentorship, and academic leadership. I request Dr. Asha Kiranam and Bolana Datta sir to do the honors, please. Thank you, madam. Thank you, sir.
Our next panelist, Professor A. Suryanarayana, is a global reputed academician and former Dean of the Faculty of Management at Osmania University. Sir has guided more than 30 PhD scholars, presented over 500 papers at international conferences, and authored 13 textbooks, including 2 acclaimed global titles. Recognized with honors such as the Global Gurus Award and HR Dronacharya Award, Sir's contribution have shaped the discourse of human resource and management education worldwide. Professor Suryanarayana is also known for his inspiring mentorship, leaving strong imprint on the next generation of scholars and practitioners. I request Professor Bolana Datta sir and Dr. Asha Kiran ma'am to felicitate Professor A. Suryanarayana.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, sir. And our last panelist is Mr. Sahil Kaur, a young professional, innovator, and certified life coach. He currently serves as a project leader at Bharti Airtel, where he drives projects at the intersection of technology and customer experience. He is the author of What Makes You Who You Are and has been publishing more than dozens of research papers. Recognized as an Indian Book of Records achiever and recipient of Young Innovators Award, he is passionate about exploring AI and neuromarketing for real-world solutions. Mr. Kaur represents a new generation of thinkers who blend corporate expertise with personal growth and innovation. I request Professor Datta and Dr. Asha Kiran ma'am to do the felicitation of Mr. Kaur.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have before us a panel that brings together wisdom from decades of experience and the fresh energy of innovation. With that, I now hand over the session to our chair, Dr. Shilin Misra, to lead the discussion. Ma'am, over to you.
Thank you so much, sir. Am I audible to everyone? Yes. A very good afternoon to everyone present here. It's a pleasure, honor to be at such an esteemed, prestigious institution, and also among the galaxy of such esteemed academicians, industrialists, and also the doctors. And my heartiest congratulations to MTC Global, Professor Bholanath Datta, for the 15th World Education Summit. Something which has been done for last 15 years, is not an easy task to do. And sustaining the brand, sustaining the momentum, and always delivering value to everyone who is part of it is a kind of work that an extraordinary human being can only do. So please give a big round of applause to Professor Bholanath Datta sir. Right. So it's a pretty challenging task assigned to me, when we have to debate on this particular topic and with such esteemed panelist members. But before we dwell into the essence of the topic that is assigned for the panel, something which I want to tell you, maybe you should be able to give me some answers here. So what happens, from the morning we get up, we have phone in our hand. You come to the college, you have computers and laptops with you, right? You again go back home, you have screens. So what is happening? We are spending a lot of time in front of the screen, be it we as educators, industrialists, or you be as a student. Is this right? Yes. So what happens with this? There's a lot of stress. Lot of stress on a very particular organ of our body, which helps us to see this world in the beautiful way it is, right? And what is that? That is our eyes, right? So what this digital screen, digital time is affecting, it is affecting our eyes. And our eyes are going through the digital strain. And when that happens, what happens? Once your eye becomes weak, and second, I'm sure it also leads to deficiency of sleep. Though I'm not a researcher in this, but this is something which has today and a few days back came to my notice when we saw that we have such an esteemed person with us on the panel, Dr. S. Ramanathan IS sir, who is an MD and who's a specialist and who's a researcher in this area of sleep disorder. And he's come out with some new tricks and techniques, ways of helping people with this disorder. So why not, before we start the panel discussion officially, I request Dr. Ramanathan IS sir to please take over the dais and give us insight into the sleep medicine. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Mishra. I must acknowledge the help and support given by Professor Bholanath Datta to the organization, and particularly to me, because he has recognized this area. Now, without wasting much time, I wish to tell you that we are going in the science of artificial intelligence, which has been created by the human mind, of the mind, by the mind, for the mind. I don't know what we are going through. And during the Mahabharata, there was a strong discussion between Lord Krishna and Arjuna. And Arjuna tells, I cannot focus because my mind is restless. So Krishna tells that I have created the mind from the wind. The wind is always restless. You have to focus. So I will make an attempt so that we can focus on some important issues which are interesting and important for the youth of the country and where we are heading. So we are going to dwell into the subject of sleep. Now this is sun rising on the eastern hemisphere for billions of years and awakening us from the world of ignorance. So we are sleeping, we are ignorant, and we get up. So we start working. So what is happening in sleep and how our modern technology is affecting the sleep. Now this is the idea given us from MTC Global, which we are discussing. In Bhagavad Gita itself, they are mentioned the word about sleep. No battles were fought after sunset. Right? In modern lifestyle, I think it starts after the sunset. And there are many sleep disorders, and sleep is essential for physical, mental and emotional well-being. Not just like that, it is a very active process happening inside the system. Several hormones are secreted in sleep, particularly growth hormone. And as far as the women are concerned, the estrogen, progesterone, so many hormones which regulate the menstrual cycle, they have a very fine tuning along with the sleep. And if that is disturbed, I find young ladies developing this polycystic ovary syndrome or PCOD, infertility, then going for IVF for making a family. Now, we will not go into all those things, but the sleep disorders are the snoring and unable to sleep well. Now, this is a very common complaint in practice. Daytime tiredness and also sleepiness. Sometimes you may go to sleep while I am actually talking, but that indicates that the night sleep was not correct. Then the most common the sleep disorder today is chronic partial sleep deprivation. You are depriving the sleep, partially and for many years. And all these things are interrelated. Now, this is the common situation that you look at the mobile Dr. Shrilan Mishra had just commented. Now, this is the blue light, and this brings us to a song sometime in 1980s. There was a film called Satte Pe Satta. बत्तियां बुझा की नींद नहीं आती है, बत्तियां बुझाने वाली जाने कब आएगी. नो बत्तियां बुझाने वाली तो घर में है, लेकिन वो खुद ही बत्ती जला रही है. So this will affect the melatonin release from the brain, which is a sleep hormone, and the sleep gets postponed. So previously in village life we sleep at 7 p.m., 8 p.m. My practice, I have never seen anybody sleeping before 12 or even 1. And then this light will postpone the sleep. You may from 1 o'clock, then 2 o'clock, then 3 o'clock, the sleep gets postponed, the hormones get also disturbed, and then you land up in sleep deprivation. And the sleep deprivation leads to habit of snoring. Now the most important disease which today we are facing is obstructive sleep apnea. This is a very common disease. It's not rare, it is very common. Snoring is so common, but all snorers don't have this disease. But the prominent symptom of this disease is snoring, which is habitual and also loud. Sometimes so loud it can go across the room. Then it is because of the repeated collapse of the pharynx, which are the upper airway, and this can lead to several diseases like hypertension, diabetes. Now this is what happens, that the pipe closes here in the middle, and in the last slide it becomes totally closed, and there is choking, and there is lowering of oxygen in the sleep, which is fluctuating, not constant, it is fluctuating. So you are shifting from deeper stage of sleep to lesser stage of sleep, and in that process there is cyclical hypoxemia. Now this is what we record in the sleep laboratory. There you can see in the SpO2, you can see it is going down and coming up. There is fluctuating between 97, 86, like that. And the upper graph is the EEG showing the stage of the sleep. And there are other graphs here which I am not going to detail, but important is the lowering of oxygen in a cyclical fashion, and that stimulates the sympathetic system, which should not happen, because sleep is a state where there is a dominance of the parasympathetic system. Everything is slow, pulse is slow, BP is low, heart is resting, brain is resting. So this is disturbed because of the lowering of the oxygen, because of the closure of the pharynx. Now these are the list of diseases which can be a consequence of obstructive sleep apnea. So we have been seeing this and treating the sleep and giving better outcome to heart patients, diabetes patients, better control of diabetes, and also better behavior, including psychiatric problems. Then patients having sexual dysfunction and eye disorders, which is my original research contribution for the first time in the world. And this happens because when we get up, there is a awakening, and many people lose vision early morning. Many people get hypertensive episode early morning and they are shifted to ICU. And one eye disease is a non-arthritic ischemic optic neuropathy, that is a nerve of the eye. It gets affected and suddenly they can lose the vision. Now, there are two states of sleep. I am not going detail. Dr. Boranath has told me to cut it short. Now, non-rapid eye movement and rapid eye movement sleep. Now, rapid eye movement sleep is important for brain function and heart function, and this is 25% of the sleep, and it is throughout the life it is constant. Except in old age, it may go down to 22%. Otherwise, the patient goes through all this. Whenever there is a lowering of oxygen in sleep, the brain and the optic nerve and retina, they are highly sensitive to low oxygen, and that makes it very vulnerable to several diseases. And therefore this lowering of oxygen leads to new vessel formation, artery formation in the retina, and that is a hallmark of diabetic retinopathy. Many people have diabetes and retinopathy. They cannot be treated because there is no drug to reverse. But here this hypothesis I gave somewhere in 2003, that if you treat this sleep apnea, which is manifested by loud snoring and daytime sleepiness, we can possibly put the vehicle in the reverse gear and come back to normal vision. So we have been sort of trying to do these patients, but there was no reference from the ophthalmologist because it is very new. So then one patient from glaucoma, that is a third disease, glaucoma, in which there is a raised intraocular tension, and that gentleman was the husband of a retired professor of physiology from JJ Hospital. And so she said, this hypothesis looks great, we would like to do this. So we did the sleep study in the night, that is a polysomnograph, and we do studies in the hospital, not in the house. It is a monitored study, and this was suggestive of obstructive sleep apnea, and this patient was put on the continuous positive airway pressure, which can open the closure of the pharynx, the upper airway, in sleep, leading to normalization of the oxygen levels in sleep. And this, after 4 months of usage of this continuous positive airway pressure, the examination of the eye showed improvement in vision and also improvement in the side vision. He used to see only straight, he cannot see the side. So he started looking better vision. He is still alive, he is around 80 plus and lives in Mumbai, and he is doing well. Now, there is no medication to improve vision in patient of glaucoma. Once the vision is lost. But here, for the first time, I could show that patient can improve, and this was later published in the journal. And this is what is the CPAP, that machine on the bedside, and there is a mask which blows the air through the pipe and opens the pharynx, which is getting closed in sleep. So what happens is that you can see that these are the closure happening in obstructive sleep apnea, and now this pipe is open and patient can sleep on the back without moving this way, that way, and have a comfortable sleep like a yogi. Now here all the body chakras, the third eye chakra, heart chakra, when you sleep supine, all these chakras are in alignment. There it gives good health. If you sleep on side or if you sleep on stomach, that is not good for health. That is as per our Indian philosophy, that a yogi should sleep flat on the bed on his back. So this happened, and we published this. Dr. Ramchandani is the ophthalmologist, and the due credit was given to him. And before I finish, I have something to share which is important for us, that while I was a student in medicine, in MBBS, way back in 1970, we were dissecting the dead body, and in the liver I saw there is inscription of Ram by the venous impression. And then we discovered that this body had come from Balaghat, and this old lady was sitting in front of Ram temple and chanting Ram, 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 and that Ram got inscribed into the body in the liver. So these are all natural tattoos which are happening inside our system. So if you chant anybody's name, that name will get inscribed inside. If you chant your girlfriend name, it will come inside. Then you have to do postmortem and see what is happening. So this happened, and this was an eye opener, because this was I could see God inside the dead body. That is what I want to say. And this is the cartoon that the artificial intelligence person is asking for humanity. I want to learn humanity. But this gentleman has got humanity, but is learning artificial intelligence. Thank you very much.
Dr. Sir, thank you so much for such a great insight into such an important topic, that where this screen is leading us to. Be it gaming, be it AI, or be it you're using these gadgets for anything. But end of the day, who is suffering? We are suffering. There are advantages, but there are a lot of disadvantages. Now, can you calculate this and accordingly start using these devices? And for any kind of help when it comes to sleep disorder, please refer to Dr. Iyer. And one more thing, I see a lot of students when they come for the first class. So few of them do not come for the first class. Even if they come, their eyes will look so sleepy and they may be yawning in the class. So we know that you have spent a lot of time with the mobile. So guys, take care of yourself. And I was really overwhelmed and surprised with the tattoo example. And I wish that is all used in a very, very good way. So thank you so much.
Half a minute.
Yes, sir.
I just forgot to tell you that it is affecting young boys and girls. The high level of thyroid stimulating hormone, TSH. Now TSH hormone, if it is higher, then they say that you have got thyroid. So many young girls and boys are taking thyroid medication. It is not necessary. Maybe that higher level of TSH is because of sleep deprivation. So when you sleep nicely all night, 3 days, 4 days, then you get thyroid test done. It will become normal. Otherwise, it will be high and you will be started taking thyroid medication, which is not correct, because you have to become physiological. You don't have to become pathological. Okay?
Thank you so much, sir, for that wonderful tip. I hope all of you would pay attention to that. Thank you so much. So, coming to our topic of panel discussion. And what's the topic? It says fostering human creativity and critical thinking in the age of artificial intelligence for a better future. So, this has been the most exciting and the debated topic. And the kind of crossroads that we are, right? Isn't it very surprising that we as a human being, who were known for critical thinking and the intelligence, which is just, which is par excellence. And then suddenly we are in this debate of that whether our intelligence is depending on the AI. Our original thinking is now becoming dependent on the artificial thinking. Or is it a vice versa? I think it's a good question to debate on, and something which AI has done beautifully. It has definitely made all our lives very, very easy. Be just referring it for some content, or writing your letters or reports, or also going to an extent of designing the website, designing apps, or even composing music, right? So for my company, I was looking for an anthem, and I gave a command to AI, and I was able to come out with a beautiful anthem without spending any time and any money on it, right? So see the kind of things AI is doing. But then, are we becoming too much dependent on this, right? Is it making us sharp, or is it making us a passive consumer of this AI, this intelligence, right? So there are a lot of questions to be asked today, and I'm looking forward to hear from our panel members who come from great experience and also interacting a lot with the youth like you who have been using it day in and day out. So let me start with our first panelist here, Professor Dr. S. Ganeshan, who is the Head of Education Initiatives as Logistics Sector Skill Council, Chennai, and also been guiding many, many research scholars. So Professor Ganeshan, now when you deal with the youth, because when you talk about skills for the student, skills for the working professional, so what advantages Yeah. So what advantages or what gaps do you see in today's students or today's youth who have become such a big user of AI? Is it helping? Is it not helping? Is it giving you the right candidature, or is it making them too much dependent on AI? And when a task is assigned to them, they're not able to think into it. Your views on this?
Good afternoon to everybody. I always believe that whenever a new technology comes, we need to collaborate with it. That every time I have been telling to all the faculty members and then the students also. So when we are not collaborating with the new technology, then we will be nowhere later. That is very important. But at the same time, I would like to tell, or I would like to convey to you a small story. Through that, I would like to tell you what we can do in the classrooms or in the colleges, so that we will not lose our brain, right? AI, when we see ChatGPT and then the AI and all these things, when repeatedly every other student is coming with an assignment or a paper which had been generated by ChatGPT and then submit that, but later when presenting that, they struggle a lot. And they are not able to even say from which website the ChatGPT has taken this and to which website it should be credited. Nothing is known to them. So what I am trying to tell you is a story, a classical story, which says that on a particular day, Indra, who is the god of rains, came to a village, and then for some provocation, he cursed the village that for the next 10 years, you will not get any rains. Many of you might have heard this story also. So the entire village from day one is experiencing drought condition, no water, and because there is no water, no cultivation, right? But after some time, 1 year or 2 years later, when nobody is doing anything on their land, no tilling is happening because cultivation cannot happen, no rains. But in spite of that, somebody sees that there is one farmer who is tilling every day without water. And then later, when the rain god came to know about this and then asked him, what is happening? Why you are doing this unnecessarily? He says very politely, see, I cannot do away with this because I may forget, right? So when rain comes on a particular day, when I have to redo all these things, I may not know how to do this. So I cannot stop my practice. I think rain god may also understand this. The duty of rain god is only to rain. And if he is not raining continuously for 10 years, he may also forget. So I may suggest rain god to restart raining so that he will also not forget. So that is why I am doing this. So this is what he replied on that day. Same thing I would like to tell everybody, including teachers, that you can depend on ChatGPT or AI, but at the same time, you cannot stop using your brain. When you stop using your brain later, you may not know that you have a brain and it can also think and interact and articulate. Articulation and thinking is very important for a learner, including the faculty, that we cannot stop. So this is one thing which I would like to tell. And then next very important thing is, in other countries, well-developed countries, the universities themselves have accepted that we need to collaborate with the AI or modern technology so that the students or learners will have a very pleasant learning system using AI so that they can improve their knowledge and intelligence. So institution-wise or university-wise, now many universities, you can just browse internet and then find out leading universities in the West and Europe, they have already published a policy for using or collaborating with AI for teaching learning practices. And they are also recommending that the teachers to a certain extent, the faculty to a certain extent, can incorporate AI in the pedagogical system itself so that the students will start learning more rather than depending on AI fully. So what happens? Can I take how much time I get? Only 1 minute, okay. I will stop with this, and then when an institution is having such a policy and declare the policy, every single teacher also, every faculty also, using that or drawing from that institution-wise policy, they also have a policy for their own courses. And I have seen many courses which is coming up with course-specific GPT keywords, so that when an assignment is given to the students can use the same thing, and they are encouraged to use ChatGPT to get information, but at the same time, analyzing the information is only the student has to do. So this is how universities in the West or Europe, they've already accepted that AI should be collaborated for the teaching learning process, and I feel that the same thing we also have to do in Indian universities also. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for those wonderful thoughts. So there is a research which is published by Harvard Business School, and it very well says that it's a time, and they already started doing it, integrating tool like ChatGPT into their day-to-day teaching learning process. And whole idea is that how do we guide and train the students on to use it more effectively, which is useful for them. So instead of this is something where you become dependent, as very rightly said by sir, can we do the collaboration part to it and see that it is aiding you in your learning and decision making. Very, very well said, sir. So AI may crunch the numbers, but then spark comes from human intelligence. So moving on, thank you so much, sir. And moving on to our next panelist, Dr. Seema Mishra. Dr. Mishra, you have empowered many students and entrepreneurs in your journey. Now, from your experience, can you throw some light on how do you think AI is utilized by these entrepreneurs in their journey? Or do you think are there any gaps to be filled? How they can use it better? Over to you.
Good afternoon, esteemed guests, students, and my co-panelists. It's a great privilege to be part of this meaningful discussion where world over the debate is going on like human versus AI. And very well the previous speaker has already mentioned that there has to be a collaboration. I'm coming from an education background, being into education for 28 years, where in last decade there used to be a debate about whether students should be allowed to use mobile in the classroom or not. And now we are talking about AI, whether we can integrate it in our day-to-day work. Yes, AI has transformed the way we think, we work, and we actually expect an output in, like we are actually expecting something in very speed because we are competing with AI. So after working in 28 years into education, I'm like an entrepreneur and also a social activist, working with the HR manpower company and a fintech solution company. So I'm also co-founder to two fintechs who are working with leading banks like HDFC, Axis Bank, and yes, they are developing their own chatbot, training them with the AI so that the time can be reduced in answering the customer queries related to the basic day-to-day work. But yes, there has to be a human intervention. And if I talk about as a co-founder to an HR manpower company, AI definitely has revolutionized the recruitment, performance management. But I would like to quote that as a head of an organization, we do understand that while we are using ATS for shortlisting a candidate, the candidate is also using an AI to develop their CVs. So that is where the critical thinking is important, decision making is important, and humanizing it is important. Yes, it is a great tool to accelerate the work, to increase the speed. So it is definitely faster, but it is not wiser. End of the day, we have to give the prompt. So like some speaker in the morning session was talking about, I think the registrar of the college was talking about, that he has trained his chatbot about himself. That's what I also come with the experience. So since I am carrying an experience into education and entrepreneurship, into fintech, into the social sector, and if I give a prompt, write a brief profile about Dr. Seema Mishra to my ChatGPT, it asks me, which area would you like to highlight? Because it doesn't have a brain, it doesn't know which area to be highlighted. So the purpose, the prompt that I give, it gives me an output from that. So definitely it's a faster, as I say, and is a very, very useful tool for entrepreneurship. There are various, as I mentioned in the fintech, we are using it for customer services. In human resource, we are using for various tools. We are using not only for day-to-day process, we are also maintaining the complete data of manpower working in pan-India. We have our office in Delhi and our team is working in Hyderabad, for example, in ICICI Bank. So we are able to map their day-to-day work with the help of the technology. And of course, there are a few prompts that we preset. So it all depends on the human intervention and the command that we give to AI. Very, very useful tool. It is not master. Master will always be human.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Professor Mishra. Yes, it's a tool and master remains the one and only one, which is human being. So that kind of reminds me that I, as an entrepreneur, right, when my schedules are becoming so tight and I sometimes miss on remembering which meeting I have to attend next. So what was the next option for me? Next solution was to hire a personal assistant who can kind of manage my entire schedule. But I just thought, why should I be paying to a personal assistant, right? And I started searching and I found a tool which is called as memory.ai, and it can be integrated into your WhatsApp. You just put the command in WhatsApp and it just connects everything to your calendar and sends you the reminder, right? So I think these are wonderful tools for entrepreneurs, many more such tools for entrepreneurs which are making their life easy. And it's not only about investing on a human resource, but it's also about the timely information which is coming to you. So you save a lot on time. And as an entrepreneur, it's a speed and accuracy that you work with which will kind of decide a lot of things for your success. So thank you so much, Professor Mishra. And moving on to our next panelist. We just heard from Dr. Iyer, but then I have a question for you, sir, again. So as a doctor, you might have seen that how AI is entering into the space of medicine and diagnosis. So is there something which AI can never replace? Especially, I don't know, I'm sure sir would have a good handwriting, but if you see the prescriptions, you will not understand what doctors have written. So how do you think AI is intervening into the space of medicine?
Well, thank you, madam, for this question. A doctor should be a good actor. He should be an actor. Because intelligence cannot act. When your mother or father comes to the clinic for some problem, we keep the head low and try to ask what is the problem, this thing. So a lot of empathy is there. You sympathize and empathize. That is not possible with AI. Number one. Number two, if you give a diagnosis through the AI, and suppose that diagnosis is wrong, and wrong treatment is given, so we are liable to be prosecuted. Now, who will be prosecuted? I will or the artificial intelligence? How the case will run in the court? Whether artificial intelligence will go to the jail? So all these things are going to start. Now, I have not done anything. AI has done, but we are basically responsible. So we have to use our own clinical judgment to give the proper opinion, and that is carrying lot of emotion. Now health is an area where emotions run very high. If your serious relatives are very in panic, they say, Doctor Saab, kuch bhi karo, do something, what happened. So these are all things which are going to be difficult to manage. I remember in my college days when I was doing my MD medicine, we used to see 400 patients in OPD, 400. Can you imagine? And our brain is working so fast that we have to tackle all these emergency patients, this, that, and we used to do that. Now it is very difficult because there is lack of time. To save the time, you may take help of artificial intelligence, but at the same time, please remember that it cannot substitute the doctor, and the doctor has to, final version should come from the doctor, not from the artificial intelligence. Otherwise, it will create a lot of problems and it may give wrong diagnosis, wrong treatment. And lastly, last week, this Wednesday, Times of India has come out that patients are taking help of Google to diagnose their own illness. And then they are treating also. And then they are become critical, and then they go to ICU, where everyday fees is about 20,000 rupees per day. So this, our brain is good, we have to respect, and you may take help, but not much. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for that insight. So, if you search on Google with the common symptoms that you may have for any normal illness, you will see a list of critical illness coming there, and that kind of scares people. So, disclaimer, please don't use such Google sites or AI to understand what problem you're having for your health condition. Thank you so much, sir. And let's move on to our next panelist. Our panelist from Dhaka, Professor Millie Rahman. Professor Millie, you come from a language and literature background, and we have seen that people are posting nowadays poems and essays, thoughts written by AI on a lot of social media, and they're also AI can also give you a lot of jokes, good and bad, both, right? But then, how do you think it's happening in Dhaka, in your university? How students are using this? Is it helping them? Or can they use it better, or should they avoid using AI when it comes to language and literature?
Thank you so much. Thank you all the panelists as well as the distinguished guests. I feel honored to be here to be as a panelist. I should tell one thing first, that is, nothing is unmixed blessing in this world. Of course, wherever there is a blessing, there will be a curse. So the students in our university, of course, they are also using all the times they would love to use the AI. But whenever they are using the AI and making some poems, I don't feel that they can feel it from their heart. Of course, the poet, they need some personal observation, they need some feelings for the others, because literature, it is the reflection of our life. It tells us the sorrows, sufferings, all the things of our life. So whenever they cannot feel the real scenario of the society, so how can they could give some prompt onto the AI and they are expressing their feelings. So this is never can be their real feelings. So whenever it should come to the poet, because poet, it is told that they are the unacknowledged legislators of the society, told by Shelley. So if they are the unacknowledged legislators, they had to fight for the truth. In our country, sometimes whenever there is a revolution, it is the poets and the writers who stand first to do something, to come forward, to make us aware what to do, not to do, all the revolutionary things. They raise their voice. So being a poet is not that much easy, I think, because they need to feel. Feelings is something different. And one more thing, I always tell my students one thing, that you might get an experience certificate easily, you might purchase it, but the experience is something different. So whenever they will write something to AI, that can never just make them truly experienced. That can never make them a true poet. It can give them a momentarily famous, they will get some likes and other things, but that will not end in the long run, I feel like. And I always want to tell one more thing to the students, those who are here. That means this world is totally connected with the social interaction. But feel like, I always tell them, please close your eyes and feel like how many good friends you have. Whenever you make a status on your Facebook, Insta, or anywhere else, there are so many, that if you just tell them that, oh, I feel very sad, there will be a huge, thousands and hundreds of sad emojis. But does it mean anything in your life? If you don't have a single friend of yours who will come on and tell you that, yes, I'm with you, why are you feeling sad? Let's go outside, have a cup of coffee, let us go roam around. If you don't have such kind of 5 or 3 friends, you're really poor. So if you have so many followers in the social media, of course it is also needed, because knowledge was a matter of acquisition one time, but now knowledge is a matter of creation and dissemination. So the easy way of dissemination of knowledge is the social media and other things. We can disseminate our thoughts, ideas, but in our real life we need our family, we need our friends, we need our relations. Otherwise, always we cannot just confine our life within this 6 inches mobile or with AI. So we need to make a real interaction wherever someone will touch me, someone will hug me, someone will feel me better. Then I can write something. So within confining myself within this 6 inch mobile, I can never be a good poet, I feel like. So that's the answer, I think so.
Thank you so much, Professor Mili. I must say that was a very poetic insight. Yes, AI can't feel from the heart, because end of the day you are giving the prompt, but then it can't replace your heart. And if you want to be a beautiful poet, then just believe in you, your emotions, and in your heart. Wonderful.
As you told about poet, one line, madam has taught about empathy. There is a line, तुम्हारे आंखों से गिरता शबनम हमारी आंखों में रुक गया. This is the empathy we practice in medicine.
Yes.
You have to see as if you are treating your own person. तुम्हारी आंखों से गिरता शबनम हमारी आंखों में रुक गया.
I really appreciate adding this flavor to the panel discussion, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, so let's continue with our next panel member, Dr. Noor Firdaus Jahan. She's from Bangalore and a very reputed institute, the RBIM. Yes. So, Dr. Firdaus, you are the head of marketing and research, right? And when you look at the B-School setup, are you using AI tools, which your students can use in their research? Because being a professional college, right, you must be asking students to submit a lot of reports, a lot of research, dissertation. So how do you think your students are using that, and how are you encouraging them?
Yeah, thank you. Good afternoon to everyone present here. I feel really very honored to be here with the esteemed panelists and at this 15th World Edu Summit organized by MTC Global and Patil College. So it's really honored to be here. Let me congratulate Bholanath sir for having this topic, which is very much relevant, not only today, tomorrow, but full this decade. It is going to be relevant, and all of us have to live with it without questioning what is happening. Correct? So I was very happy to note that theme is very much relevant, and this is what we are doing it. And coming to our B schools, yes, it is posing both challenges as well as opportunities. Lot of challenges first, then come the opportunities, because what is happening is we always used to think that research is something you keep on researching it. Correct? Keep on, just to identify one problem, people used to take so much of time, then come up with a problem, then spend so much of time, then bring up the solution. But today you are student, you just come up with some problem so that I'll guide you how to go about it in research. Trust me, matter of 10 minutes, the problem, methodology, findings, everything will be there. So the problem here in B schools is how to make students not to use this. It is not correct on my part to do that, because it is facility available everywhere and it is technology. We have to move on with the technology. My students are smart enough to do this. Correct? I have to appreciate it. But somewhere I have to ensure that my students are not their knowledge, whatever they have learned, they should not unlearn and depend so much on technology that their originality, their own thought process should not die. So this is where we are working on, and we just want to ensure that we are just changing the way we are giving assignment, the way we are involving in the teaching, pedagogy. For example, earlier the traditional teaching method was there. Today we are using AI-based pedagogy. We have got something like SESIM, simulation package, so which provides the simulated situation to the students, case study, sometimes As you all know, reading also students are not enjoying that keen about it, and coming up with a solution, again they find some shortcut. So we are coming up with AI-based solution for that. Like Sesim have developed a beautiful boardroom games, correct solutions on that, and which make users of AI. And they, what Sesim does is, it provides a situation, simulated situation to the students in the form of case study, and provides all kinds of information, and students are made to think on this line and come up with a solution. Correct? Come up with a solution, and which will help them to improve their decision making skills, which helps them to also bring up the ethical phenomena there, which also helps them to bring an innovative way of solving the problem. So what we are working now on is, technology is something which our students should know. We cannot say we are in management, we are away from technology. We are moving towards multidiscipline approach. So we are towards multi-dimensional approach where technology, data science, correct, AI and management. So together we are working on to provide business solution and make students ready for the industry to handle with technology without losing the humanistic approach to solve the problem. Because AI can write, correct? AI can suggest you what you have to do. AI can give solution, but AI cannot, correct, make you create something new, which we have to do it. Creativity skills, correct, it is within us. An innovative way of solving the problem that cannot be replaced. And so what we are looking in students is how to bring this innovation skills in them, ethics, what is right, what is wrong. That is very important. So there I'm thinking AI will go on in one side, and our student, what we should do is, they should live with AI without affecting the AI in a very humanistic approach, being very responsible, and they should be able to differentiate between what is ethical, what is not ethical, right and wrong. Because what is happening now, a lot of illusion is created everywhere. We don't know, like AI, we don't know what is real, we don't know what is fake, correct? Ready products are available. And at the same time, if you want advertisement to be created, you can see that the models, AI will generate its own generative AI, will create its own model, and beautiful ad will be created. So the content may be real, may not be real. And the information can be genuine, may not be genuine. And the information can be discorrect, it can be misinformation or disinformation. So what is that we have to do? So we are training students on all these things to live with AI, still be original, still be innovative, and add value to the business, add value to the society, and have humanistic approach. So that is what we are working on.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for this kind of information. The way you are integrating AI into your teaching learning process and enabling students to use it for better. And I think one point which ma'am raised was about ethics. Ethical use of AI is something which is very, very important. And I think as a student, that is what you need to focus on. Fine, use it. It's a tool given to you, given to everybody. But then ethics is something which remains at the core of it. And when you grow in your career, you as a person, leader, what will differentiate you from others is your integrity and ethics, right? All right, wonderful, and I really envy you because we have done our research way back in 2000 when the computer was just getting introduced in our country and we had to type each and every letter. There was nothing like that. You give a prompt and the pages of articles are available. And you guys have all the luxury, right? So hoping to see many good researchers coming out of using this facility. All right, so maybe carrying the similar thread to our next panelist, Professor C. Vethirajan, who's the Dean of Students Affairs. Sir, you are seeing the students even beyond classrooms, right? How they are acting, behaving, with the kind of knowledge they are gaining from maybe inside the campus or from the entire the internet world. So what do you think can be those activities which can actually nurture the creativity and problem solving skill? Because that is the core we are discussing today. So how do you think we can take that step forward, come out with that kind of environment, activities which would help students to nurture their creative skills?
So thank you very much, madam. First of all, I am very thankful to the founder, professor, and president of MTC Global, Professor Ponar Datta sir, for giving this opportunity. I'm on the way from Tamil Nadu, Salagappa University, Karikudi. So when being this, students, Dean Students Affair of the Salagappa University, even though for technological innovation and changes, not in a single terms, but by angle that we have to be adapting for that businesses. So to reshaping and redefining this business as well as all the industrial sector, including for education. So as far as is concerned for that AI, critical thinking and innovative approaches and artificially we are moving towards for this better future. The students apart from its classroom, we have to arrange conduct for orientation programs to the freshers as well as for anti-ragging programs for the students and that internal complaints arrangements we have to committee and all, even though, but students have to be moved towards for that the classroom as well as for faculty also. In our curriculum, we have to be adapted for that artificial intelligence, not only for science domain, even the arts and management domains, because we have broad-based curriculums. Then for library system, but one things I have to be observed my students that after that AI for GPT chart for looking of that e-books and all, then purchasing of textbook will be reduced and moving for that library also to be reduced. Apart from that we have to give this orientation for that the SWAM portal as well as that online educations. Our university is number one in Tamil Nadu for NRF for 14th rank nowadays. Now is announced, and we have to give for that extra orientation programs. Even though students are searching for GPT and all, but how are that students? But nowadays, there is more employment opportunities for that AI students because of technological innovation. It is a inevitable process, but that what this previous speakers pointed out for ethical, for humanities, it will be reduced. That after for that work culture, there will be until changed. Then we have a cooperation with other institutions for exclusive for AI, and we have to adapting for all these things. But the applications of accuracy and all for taking of decision making to enhancing this knowledge exclusive for the AI concept. But this is not for permanent. After 20, 30 or 40 or 50, new technology will be exist. Sometimes it's possible. So based on that, students have been having of the progress for employment as well as the placement progress. What on the morning inaugural speaker, our keynote speaker, Professor Sai Kumar pointed out that the employment have to be the students after this learning, you have to give this job provide to the others. So that kind of things for every students, because this is a excellent forum of this organized by Patil sir for the students purpose community, especially management students. So you have to provide the job after for AI. So that is the feature that is called that AI for learning. After that, providing for that employment opportunity for to others. This is my observation of this. Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, sir, for bringing that aspect to all of us. And moving on to our next panelist, Mr. Kaul. So, Mr. Kaul, based on your experience of industry and entrepreneurship, how do you think this has to be fostered more? I just request you to share your insights on this particular topic.
Thank you, first of all, for having me here. Thanks, Professor Datta, for conducting such a good event. Now, let me tell you, right before AI also, humans have evolved through many processes, right? The things that we consider today as our friend were once considered as threat. Okay, how many of you think that a small pencil can be a threat to humans? But when the pencil was invented, people were very thoughtful of using it, because they thought that if they start using a pencil, they might lose the ability to think. They'll not memorize things because they'll start writing them out. Okay? But times changed, we adapted, and I'll re-quote sir, who said in the morning that be rest assured that humans are irreplaceable no matter technology wherever it reaches. So I come from a technology background, and I can very well assure you that AI can only be on the driver's seat, but it is us who will guide where to go. Now I'll just give you a small example. So what students are here? They are business students, right? All of you are business students? From PG? Who's all are from PG? You can raise your hands. Okay, PGDM. And you all? Sorry? BBA and MBA. MBA? Okay, MBA students, how many here? Thanks. So now let me tell you the difference between AI and humans. If I would have been an AI, I would have just continued my lecture, and all of you, whatever you were doing, you would be continuing doing. Now just asking the right question to you, you all are now aligned to whatever I am saying. Right? Right before I came here, when Professor Datta told me that I'll be one of the panel members, I also did the same thing. I opened my ChatGPT and told ChatGPT to write something about AI. And it gave me actually a very good draft. And once I read that draft, I was like, I'm all set for this panel discussion. But after a little time, I thought that if I just read that draft to you, you all will remember the ChatGPT that wrote it. And I'll lose my own being here. So I want you to remember Sahil Kaul and not the ChatGPT that wrote it. So the question is, if AI can write, if AI can create, design and everything, then what is that makes us different? What is it? Anybody, what is it? It is basically every small little detail that makes us human. You know, the way we feel things, the way we empathize things, the way we, create and relate with things, that's what creates actually AI more powerful. See, I'll just make you listen to one thing. Just a second. You would have heard this. You remember this one? It's from the World Cup, right? So that's how we relate. The goosebumps that we get after listening to these kind of things, AI will never get it. So even if you give AI a pencil, it can just create lines. It's humans that create goosebumps. So that's, ma'am, actually the takeaway from this thing. AI can make it quick, it can make it fast, but it cannot create goosebumps. It cannot create feelings out of it. So it is all us that make it human, and it is all that we relate to. So that's my takeaway.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sahil. In fact, that gave me the goosebumps now, right? So very, very beautifully articulated. And let me tell you, this is the most creative panel that I have seen. In last 2 months, I have done 4 panels, and this is the 5th one. And beautiful, a wonderful integration of songs, music, and this song again. Okay, so now we go to our panel member, who I feel, AI will get scared of and run away. So when he speaks, AI can't work. Okay, he himself is one of the such a fabulous creative thinker. Okay. No, I'm telling more so that we can maintain timings as well. Because when you listen to sir, we can't keep track of time. So okay, so Surya sir, with so much of experience in the international education, I will not ask you any question. I just request you to give your insights on this particular topic.
I prepared for 10K run. Then these people told me it's 100 meters sprint. Earlier last time virtually took away my hands. So in AI era, I lost count of number of question papers I must have moderated as the chairperson board of studies of the de facto de jure. And then the morning, when I started making a beeline, all the people started making a beeline. We were breaking the ice. And thanks to Mrs. Dattaji. Sir, enough of adjectives, qualifying phrases and epithets, go metaphor. So I said, oh, what metaphor can I really think of? Then look at the title. The human creativity, the man is going to be one. The mind, only we have. A does not have. And then artificial intelligence, can I come up with a word which is going to start with machine? So I'll be using these two words, man and machine. So this is it. And before I go and answer in all the question papers, all questions carry equal marks. In AI-driven era, maybe we may have to say all answers carry equal marks. This is how it is. I think it was M.L. Sai Kumar in the morning, he was talking about how grades orientation, marks orientation, education to how to make a mark unto yourself. That is going to be the litmus test and acid test for education. One more thing is, never ever just say, I belong to 2025-27 class. I'm a class apart, in spite of the fact that you are in AI-driven era. That's how it is. This gentleman was talking number of experiences that we carry behind, what we carry behind, what we carry inside, what we carry ahead. Then I told him, it's not because of the number of years that you add to your life, but how much of life you breathe, you inject into your life. That's more important. This is going to what. And then the Registrar Sahib, he said, now 1 year ago, I do not know what is ChatGPT. Absolutely. I wrote 2 international textbooks without even going to the public domain. Westbury Publications, Nottingham, UK, and then other textbooks. And then in 7 months duration, I could come up with 13 books, but of course not ChatGPT, not a single sentence from ChatGPT, but something else. Blogs. I thought, now when I started coming across this particular thing, what is this? Now, not a single day passes without using virtually made AI my slave, just because I have the brain. And it can only generate popcorn, but my cerebral popcorn is nowhere before the popcorn that machine is able to make. You don't know, and scores of occasions, this ChatGPT apologies to me. Sorry, gentlemen, apologies to me for my oversight. And then English, we think that the ChatGPT English is I'm a Telugu medium, but throughout my life, I don't know English medium, I don't know convent school, but says thank you for your in search of excellence, for your excellence. You found out a mistake. The grammar is impeccable. English is virtually a spotless English, but still, that's why it says ChatGPT is susceptible, vulnerable to make mistakes. I do not know, because I retired 10 years ago. Now, scopus index, we never heard about it. Only hope and scopus in Telugu Popo. But now what is scopus? Now I have got 1, 2, double-digit scopus index publications, 10,000 words. Now, AI, I'm using it so much, it has understood Surya so much. It addresses me as professor. Tell me, what can I do for you? What's the sermon? I've never ever slavery, bondage, chains. I don't want that to happen. All of you to become. You can, if you can intelligently use it, excel it. And then you name an Ivy League journal. What is it? What I was a year ago, and what am I doing? Name anything, any scopus index to world's top Ivy League journals. Now I stopped writing books, and then I took some time off, and then started thinking of one more invitation. Sir, we are going to waive $2,000, $2,500 if only submitted before September. So this is all new to me. When we used to get our article published, we used to be paying 1,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees. Anyway, one of the best, easiest, surest, quickest ways of learning something new, and about these two things is going to be, because I belong to the first MBA batch, 1980, when I taught 40 plus batches I must have taught. First batch, customer satisfaction is a big word. Customer, what is that? Integrated marketing, customer satisfaction, and customer orientation. Philip Kotler, second edition. Second edition Philip Kotler I'm talking about. I don't know what edition right now. And then customer ecstasy, customer astonishment, customer bewilderment, new words. Philip Kotler, he himself was there in India, Chennai, and then I don't want to use those. So now, in AI era, it's for the marketing people, what word are you really going to coin and put in circulation? Now people said, wow factor. How are you going to put wow factor into whatever you want going to do? That is going to be one thing. I was a student of TV Rao, Pestanji, Uday Parik, those days, 86, IIM. And now I'm writing a book almost coming to an end, and that's going to be HRD. HRD, what is it? TV Rao, Pestanji, Uday Parik. And that HRD that I studied and taught for so many years is no longer valid in AI era. I'm able to find that. Ethics. Some 15 years ago, Shivani said, sorry, ethics gentlemen, some octogenarian, nonagenarian, they used to stop coming. They stopped coming, then there's a student and you take it. Ethics in marketing, ethics here, ethics finance, I learned it. Now, nobody stop with ethics. One more thing before I forget, I just 1 more minute max. And then when we were students, maybe 60s, 60s, literacy means 3 hours. Read, write, arithmetic, 3 hours. Now, the 21st century illiterates are going to be those, literates are going to be those who can read, write, and do a bit of it. Those people who cannot learn, unlearn, relearn, that's it. Now, AI literacy, you have no MBA. If you are going to be, that's it. If you do not know AI. But the only thing is, how are you really going to use the AI? So that's how I have comparing and contrasting these two phenomena. That's attempted. That's human intelligence and then artificial intelligence. That's the best way. 45 years ago, administration, management, 20 differences. I wrote study material. My God, leader and manager, 40 differences. And HRM and personal management, those days. Then HRM and HRD, 20 differences. Like that, boys and girls. Student learners, if you really want to know the difference, the mistakes that you should avoid to commit is going to know the difference between artificial intelligence and other things. And quintessentially, I said I have a long essay, short notes. Because I don't know how much time this lady is going to be. She's not going to give it. So, quintessentially, what is quintessential? Essence of essence. Only few words, no sentences. First one. This theme itself, hats off to the brainstorming that must have gone. He will never ever settle down, zero in on to the theme unless he's going to put it in the public domain. A beautiful thing will emerge. A few words only. When we studied education, once upon a time, the transfer of knowledge, it's no longer going to be that. A has made information a commodity. 60s, for me, rock started a commodity became a product became a brand became an encounter became an experience became transformation. Even transformation is no good. Artificial intelligence, how are you going to convert your each product, each service in an experience economy? My God, mind blowing. So, morning someone's talking about fake, everything is going to be fake. So, how are you going to define it? So, this is going to be more put meaning, purpose, then only your AI is going to be hands off, otherwise never ever go down. One more thing, human, people have to talk sympathy, empathy, etc. The curiosity, nobody. So, if we are what we are today, only because we are always asking your father, mother, why, what, when, where. Not boyfriend, girlfriend that should come. Now, do you have these 7 servants? If you keep these 7 servants with you, you are going to teach. So, this stuff, so that servant is going to be, students become a digital detective. I am able to find mistakes in AI. That's something. Now, AI has understood student and so much. Top to toe, head to heel. Shall I do this for you? My God, my draft is ready. Yesterday, no semester has begun. Give me lecture notes. It was giving 10 because it got used to my way of asking. It was giving APS time. I don't need APS references. So this summit is going to be. Now, I'll stop here. Build schools, no. Incubators of They say, says by this stage. mentor in the center, side, guide of the Jamana Gaya. I don't know what type of a role you are going to play, what type of cap you are going to take on this different part. So that's how it is going to be. As someone said, the answer. God may not know answer, Ishwar and Allah may not know the answer, but Guru has an answer. Your answers are universal, ubiquitously formed, transcend the boundaries of countries and continents. But as one of the panelists said, how to raise the right question. The day you raise the right question and seek meaningful answers, I think fulfilled. That's how it is going to be. Now, for this lady, I've got a lot of. I wanted to go poetic. I want to go rhythmic. Besides being a natural language student, that's how it is going to be. True skills aspirant. This right, I thought, and that's why here before I wind up, people have been again and again have been saying that it is not going to be competing with children. It's a complementary. It's not going to supplement. It's only going to supplement. It's not going to supplant. So I can go on and on and on with many more.
Thank you. Thank you so much, and kudos to the I think I was right when I said, AI will get scared of him and run away, and he just now proved that. And I think something very beautifully he said, be the digital detective. Do not depend. You analyze what you're using it for, and is it giving you the right inputs. Very, very important. And you can figure that out only when you are way ahead of AI. And for that, you definitely have to do a lot of reading, understanding. And another beautiful term which I came across from you, be the incubators of wisdom. I think that is what in nutshell you have said it, that this is what institutions should do today. Can we become the incubators of wisdom rather than just be too much technical, only talking about the general skills all the time. Very, very beautifully said.
That's what I said. Learning curves are never brought. They can only be made inside the classrooms, summits, conferences, seminars, colloquia, symposium, training programs. Nowhere else, only here.
Right. Thank you so much, sir. And now, so we have been discussing a lot about higher education this side, right? Business schools, research, etc. But I think our panel discussion will not be complete if we don't integrate that what's actually happening at a little younger level. How the young students in the schools and the PU colleges are actually using this tool. Is it helping or is it kind of damaging their creative thinking? And I think nobody else could be better than Madam Parmita Chaudhary to talk about this, who is the coordinator for this particular summit. Ma'am, can I have you on the dais, please, and hear your thoughts for a few minutes. Over to you, ma'am.
Panel students and students from nursery to PU as well as degree. I have faced a lot of challenges when this AI came into picture or existence. As Millie ma'am rightly said that no one creates the poetry of their own. They just Google it or they just use ChatGPT. Wordsworth has rightly said that poetry is the powerful emotion of human mind, human emotions. But that is lost, that human touch is lost. If students are given any assignment, yes, everybody has mentioned they will go ahead and use the ChatGPT and they will just go ahead and submit the assignment, but they don't know that we are also AI trained. We also know what they are submitting. So even if they are copying it from ChatGPT or any other AI tools, we are able to make it. And many, they do that. Nowadays, this is the trend. They just, now, for example, they have not been, one student has not been to the school for many days and was not able to cope with the mathematics. Was not able to cope with the mathematics properly and had some assignment to submit, literally gave all the inputs in the ChatGPT, got the thing and copied it happily and went back to the school. Is this correct? Does the student really have the knowledge? No. There was a lack, there was a gap. Now when that student had to face the test, it came as a disaster. it literally came as a disaster. And many of us fail to understand that now AI, that ChatGPT, many like 2-3 months back, like even now, that Ghibli art, something called Ghibli art was floating everywhere. We were making images, like flowery images, beautiful images, but we just forget something that even that nothing can be deleted from the net. Even we can delete the history from our computer, like our laptops, mobiles, but we cannot delete the traces permanently. And sometimes the content that we create, the videos that we create, can land up in we can land up in danger. I feel so, and that is not advisable. So at this note, I won't take much time. I just want to tell that if we use AI ethically, judiciously, we can make AI our useful servant, but not a dangerous master. Thank you.
Beautifully said, ma'am. Thank you so much for those wonderful insights. Though we were planning one more round of question, but in paucity of time, and we would like to definitely have some questions from the audience. So let's not do that one big round. Maybe we'll address the questions of the audience. But then before that, a quick fire round. What do you say, right? So here it goes like this. You just have to give us one message to take home today, right? And that would be, if you had to choose one human quality which we must preserve in the age of AI, what would it be and why? One word and one line answer, if we can keep it to. And shall we move in this order? Is it okay? Or shall we, I think you can decide now. Shall we request sir? Sir?
The one word as far as I am concerned in medical science is empathy, and that empathy is a healer that is forgotten in medical practice. So empathize, heal the patient, heal the society.
Thank you, sir. Sir.
When you put this question immediately, not just one, many. Only one. He's already from. So remote control is with him. One, yes, this is going to be one. Leadership, empathy, several other things are going to be there, but say, let me amplify it. When you are going to step into the shoes of others, do one thing, leave behind your shoes, then only you can step into that. Otherwise, you continue to have bias, prejudice, you get jaundice, this one.
Thank you so much, sir.
So there is some accuracy.
Accuracy. Thank you.
So in the world where the height of sadness is laughter, and where the height of laughter are tears, I think originality and curiosity is the right word.
Professor Mishra.
To start with empathy, yes, we have to be human at heart, so we have to be compassionate.
Beautiful.
I wanted to tell you that humanistic approach to AI.
Super.
So that is very important, because that is something what AI cannot do, and where we as a human being, we can work on it, and as both artificial intelligence as well as human intelligence, together they can work on it and really bring the change in the world. That is why I feel it is humanistic AI.
Thank you. I think honesty is the most important thing for all of us. Be honest and just be accountable to yourself. At the end of the day, just stand in front of a mirror and just ask you, whatever I have done, is it wrong or right? If I am honest to myself, if I am honest to my society or creator. So that's all I think. So that will create a nice thing.
Now, in terms of teaching learning process, I would like to say that articulation is one quality which you cannot get from AI. So if we can encourage our students to articulate based on data and information, that would be really great.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for all the panelists for bringing out these words which still AI can't replace, right? So you can see we have empathy, we have leadership, we have human intelligence, we have honesty, we have articulation. Looks like AI has a long way to go, right? Okay, right. So with this and the inputs from all the panel members, now we come to the audience round. Audience, we can give you time to ask few questions. Anyone, you can please go ahead with the question. Anyone in the audience who would like to ask question to the panelist here? Yes. Can we just move the mic to the... Yes.
First of all, wonderful, thank you so much for the wonderful discussions. There is a lot of takeaway from the discussion. This is Dr. Farhanaz Khan, Associate Professor with Dr. D.Y. Patil B-School. My question to you all is, when it comes to one quality, which we do not want AI to get from human, is emotions, right? And when it comes from one quality, which again we do not want AI to imitate, is bias. Now, could you please throw some light, like how to remove bias from AI? Or is it good, like we want AI to behave like human at one end, and at other end we want AI to remove all the issues with the human, right? Bias. So what is the take of the panelists on the same?
Thank you so much for the... I'm sure AI can't ask this question, right? Very good. So anybody who would like to take this question on bias? How can we remove bias from AI?
So, since the AI will only give you an output what you feed in, just to give you an example, one of the developer in one of our company has actually fabricated a relieving letter, and he has actually submitted that letter to some other organization and bagged an opportunity there. And he was kind of working at two locations. I mean, he was working with us and he was working with the other organization also. He didn't know that the other organization will initiate BGV. So during that BGV, we got that letter was fabricated. So when the junior executive received that letter, who's a Gen Z, she did not find it a problem. Still, before taking it to her seniors, she has put up to a ChatGPT, what is this? This was a question she has put. So ChatGPT simply translated that this is a relieving letter of so and so person. He has been working, he has been diligently working, and he has been a good performing employee, and this and that, and this is the relieving date of that person. And with that answer, that executive came to a senior that, ma'am, this has come, and this is about it, so what do we do about it? So, I mean, all of you can understand, fabricating a letter is a forgery. It's a fraudulent activity, working with two organizations, that to a developer. So there is a lot of data that he was responsible for. He might be, using that data with a competitor. So here, it's only human angle, human who can take a decision that this is not acceptable. So when the first prompt, just uploading a relieving letter and asking what is this, gave a different answer. And the same executive, that executive was so honest that she shared that before coming to a senior, because we asked, what do you feel about it? So she said that, I checked it, I rechecked it, because we tell people if you don't know something, go and check and ask someone. So instead of asking anyone, she was actually asked ChatGPT. So ChatGPT was not biased. What do you feel? But this is not something which is acceptable in the industry. And that is where, when we asked her, okay, you now put a prompt that, this is a forgery and this is a false letter, and then the ChatGPT started giving a different answer, that he should be given a show cause notice, and there's several action that ChatGPT then came up with a suggestion. So I think ChatGPT is not biased. It is what question we put in, we get the answer like that. So I think that's my personal experience.
Wonderful. I think that Yes.
Same thing I also wanted to tell you. ChatGPT tracks your digital record or track record, and from that only it pulls out the information, and based on that information only it gives you some solution. Definitely that would be biased if you are also biased. So we cannot, there is no solution for that.
I think any of these tools are LLMs, right? And the way we are training them. So if we are using them for somewhere, showing this kind of biasness, it will learn that as well, right? So fine, very good. Thank you so much for your inputs. Do we have one more question? We can take maybe one more question from the audience. Anybody here? Yeah, one from the students' side. Come on, yep. You have such a good panel members over here. One question, anyone? So looks like our panel discussion was very, very enriching, and they have got answers to all their questions, right? Nice, and actually that saves us a lot of time too. Thank you so much. So shall we conclude now? Is it fine? Everybody's okay with that?
Let me have the last sentence.
Okay.
So that lady, she was asking about bias, prejudice, etc., etc. So AI has that inbuilt, like human beings, we have that inbuilt mechanism to allow bias, prejudice, to silently, secretly, surreptitiously entering into our thing. But the problem is ultimately one thing is that the future is not going to be human versus machine. No. It's going to be machine with human. Not in the place of, but in addition to. Not some planners have told you, they are not opposed, but we want to see them juxtaposed for the final, better future. Because as a professor, I only believe in win-win solutions, win-win answers, win-win strategies, and there's going to be win-win as long as you make it win-win, both for the machine as well as you. This is going to be excellent. That's what I idea.
Thank you so much to all our panelists for such thoughtful and inspiring contributions.
Just 1 second.
Do we have a question?
Just
okay, sir. Yeah.
So I'll also just end up on a single line that let all the AI keep its data, and we as humans, let's keep our dreams. So let's go with it. Let that be analytical, let us be human. That means we can work together. It's never about AI versus humans. It's always AI with humans, like ma'am said.
Thank you, Sahil, for building that. In fact, to conclude now our very, very interesting panel discussion. First of all, my heartfelt thanks to each one of you for sparing the time and being here and sharing such wonderful insights to all the members present here. And if there is one message to take away today is that AI may change the way we work, but then AI is definitely a collaborative tool for all of us. It should enhance the way we work. But it's our human creativity, our thinking and our curiosity which would always define us and our future, which defines us as a human being, right? So let's ensure that AI does not make us think less, but dream bigger. And thank you, and let's continue to have the human-to-human conversation. Thank you everyone for a patient hearing, and God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you for such enriching participation. Let us now continue our conversation over lunch. Please join us for networking and interaction. Lunch arrangements are made at the ground floor. Student coordinators and faculty members are requested to escort